Hey guys, Fus Force here to give you guys a quick announcement before we start today's episode of Sunyshore Station. Today we interviewed Humberto, otherwise known as Guanaco Gaming. Here recently, Humberto decided to revamp his channel and give it the new name Lionheart Plays. I apologize for any confusion, but just so you know, he has a new name now. Regardless, we still wanted to release the episode because it was a really good conversation. Be sure to show Lionheart Plays your support. Thanks, let's get straight into it. Give me a countdown for the wheel.
3,
2, 1.
Go.
It's going to be annoying to try to sync that up.
This just in. Red arrows spotted at Lake Awdi. Breaking news. Sudden storms over Mount Coronet. In an astonishing turn of events, Champion Cynthia defeated. New champion takes the throne. It's always sunny at Sunyshore Station.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Sunyshore Station. It's your boy Fus Force, joined once again by my loveliest of co-hosts with the Landerist that gives me the night terrors, Mr. Lonely Hermit.
Oh, I love that Landers. I still have it. It's great.
You know what? That Landerist, you need to put it permanently in the box because it has been bad and it treated me very poorly. I would like to file an injunction against it.
Don't worry, it hasn't seen the light of day since our match.
Good. I hope it never sees daylight again. Never will once again soar the beautiful skies of Unova. It is Unovan, right? Yeah, Unova. Yeah. Or Hisui, if you want to argue.
Yeah.
Sure. Anyway, it came there first because that's technically history. Welcome on in, guys. And we are joined by a third person today. You know him, you love him, and if you don't, what are you doing with your life? Mr. Guanaco Gaming. He is, of course, a shiny hunter. He got that Piplup pretty quickly in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, right? That was Piplup, right?
Yeah, that was.
Yep, nice. He also is a two-time champion of the Elite Battle League, which is a thing that I was talking about earlier with the whole Landorus situation. If you want to go and look that up, you definitely should. You can watch me like get frustrated on screen. That's a lot. But then you can also watch Guanaco be calm and compose the entire time, and just wipe the floor with everyone else, which is insane. He is also an amazing Breath of the Wild connoisseur. I would say it's a very fancy word because he is a very fancy person with that. He's currently leading one of his very good friends through the game through a blind playthrough, correct?
Yes, I am.
So if any of that sounds amazing to you, you need to go and subscribe to Mr. Guanaco Gaming himself on YouTube. How are you doing, my guy?
I'm doing great, actually. Had a good day at work today.
Nice.
Couldn't ask for a better day today, actually.
Yeah.
Nice.
I respect, I mean, hey, it's a second Monday for me.
There you go.
Breaking the fourth wall a little bit. How about you, Hermit?
It's been all Lego Star Wars all day.
Oh my god. Okay, that could be its own. If this wasn't a Pokemon podcast, I could talk about that in its own episode. Well, if we mod it, we can make
you guys messaged a bunch in the group chat, and Derek messaged me. I legit didn't see anything because I was so absorbed in it for like a solid couple hours there. It was great.
It's fun, I will admit. I have currently been doing the Rancor farming for the studs in Coruscant. You can get like 1 billion in like 10 minutes. It's kind of insane. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Pokemon. Guys, if you are unfamiliar with our podcast, or if this is your first time listening, well, hi, how are you? I hope you're doing amazing. We're going to be doing something a little bit cool. If I do say so myself, having made it. I think that it's a really, really neat idea. These are called Metronome Interviews. And the idea is that none of us know the interview question until we spin a wheel, which I'm about to pull up on my computer right now. Let me go ahead and pop that open. Okay, guys, give me a countdown for the wheel.
3,
2, 1.
Go.
It's going to be annoying to try to sync that up.
I wasn't sure if we were starting by 5 or 3.
Oh, all right. Okay, let's see what this is. Number 11. Okay, so let me go ahead and see what that is for us. Number 11 is Guanaco and Hermit. If you could visit any region, where would you visit and why? And what would you do? Guanaco first, you're our guest.
Any region I would visit, and what would I do?
Yeah, and why?
As I'm not a big fan. You know what? I don't know.
Oh,
No, you know what? I'm not.
A good question.
I'm not. It's a great question because I'm battling between what I like, and I like the cold, right? But then I want something peaceful and beautiful. So I'm gonna go with this. I'm not a big fan of the region. I'm not a big fan of the game.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the game, but I would be in the Alola region.
Great pick.
Chilling on
Okay.
a beach chair, sipping on a pina colada with a little umbrella.
You mean a pin-app colada?
Yeah, there you go. And then I would go mantine surfing.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Is there a specific island that you would visit? Like which, if I'm not putting you on the spot if you don't remember their names, but like if you could like visit one of them and you remember what it is, do you know which one you'd do?
Melee.
Which one is that? I can't remember.
The first
That is the very beginning.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I was like, I can't remember if that's the big one or not.
I mean, it is pretty decent sized.
That's the one with Howley City, right? The big city.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see that. Yeah.
I think.
I love how I can remember that name, but not the island.
But yeah, that's the island that calls to me the most. I think I don't know. It calls to me the most because of the city has a shopping district in it.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have said the one with Mount Kanahila. I think it's called the one with the Pokemon League.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick. Yeah. Going up to that is like super cool.
And then you can go live in Po Town, the abandoned town.
There you go.
Free rent. Or no rent,
Right.
I guess.
You know what? I'm changing my answer. That island.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you did say snowy, and it does have that little
Yeah.
snowy patch. That's
Yeah,
where you can evolve Alolan Vulpix, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only that's what made me mad about that game is like all the good Pokemon evolved late game. I'm like, are you serious? You couldn't get Vikavolt until like Pony Island, right?
Yeah. I think they might have fixed that in Ultra, but yeah, that was
annoying. And then Alolan Ninetales, you had to stick the whole game till the very end, right before the Pokemon League. I'm like, are you serious right now? Gosh, give it an Ice Stone, crying out loud. Yeah, that's awesome though. Is there anything else you'd do in the Alolan region? Like for example, like, you know, would you be like, I have to go to the Aether Foundation or anything like that? What would you do?
I would avoid the Aether Foundation.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
I would avoid.
I don't like them.
It's not that I don't like them. I mean, if it's ground zero for aliens coming into your universe and whatnot, I would probably stick away. And I really hate bugs. So yeah.
So you would not be pals with Guzma?
No, Guzma and I are enemies actually.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're enemies. He cursed me out the other day.
So just for fun, let's answer Hermit. Let's answer where would we visit in Alola for Guanaco's pick. So where would you visit if you had to choose in Alola?
I'd probably stick to the first island. I don't know. I just feel like it has the most stuff to do. I'm kind of a city person. I like being by the city or being by a lot. I like, you know,
Tapu Koko is also my favorite of the bunch.
Tapu Koko is also there.
Yeah, I will say all the Tapus are pretty cool. They have good shinies,
Yeah.
but Tapu Koko is pretty lit.
They all have great shinies.
For me, I think the first thing that comes to mind when you said Alola was that Pikachu Park, you know, with the camper.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would go there and I would like throw Thunderstones at them so it couldn't be a Pikachu Park anymore. You're a Raichu. You're a Raichu. I'm mean though. Well, I mean, that was a pretty good answer. I mean, I think Alola is a pretty scenic location, so it kind of fits. And I know that question kind of threw you off a little bit. That's the whole point of the interview. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we go to Hermit's answer for the question?
No. I mean,
right.
It's at this point it's a tie between, you know, that island one with the Pokemon League and the snowy top. Forgot the name of it.
Yeah.
And Melee because I love the Mantine surfing. It was my favorite part of the game.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that is super cool. I like that was a really cool part, especially like I don't know, like especially when you got really good at it. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a great answer. And then we'll come back to this question later, but I want you to go ahead and start thinking of it while Hermit and I are answering. But we're going to talk about where you don't want to visit, like which region. We'll do that, like just to flip it around.
Okay.
So if you want to think about that while I'll just give you a little freebie instead of springing it on you. Since we sprung one question on you, you only get one sprung question per episode, guys. You have to tune in next time. Anyway, Hermit, what do you think would be your region, and where would you go?
I kind of gave it away already a little bit. I'd go to Unova probably. I just think it's great. I'd probably live in Castelia City because it just seems like a lot of fun. Go to that little like alley where there's a freaking like restaurant in the alley. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, and then the sewers where you can find Eevee.
Yeah. I do really, to be fair, there's the little tangent, but there's this little part of Castelia City where there's just like the tree and then there's like a patch of grass that you find when you go through the sewers. I do actually really like
that's where you get Eevee.
Yeah, I love that little area there, right there. But yeah, I'd probably stay in Castelia, or a town that's like near Castelia, like Nimbasa. Actually, no, I'd probably live in Nimbasa. Now that I think about it, because there's a stadium there, and that'd be really cool to live by there and just like go in, or the roller coasters, the Ferris wheel, all that good stuff. And plus, it's next
and
to
living
Castelia.
near a model.
And living near a model.
A superstar model runway gym leader.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah.
And who doesn't want to ride the Ferris wheel with N?
Exactly. Yeah. That was the favorite part of the game. I'd become a movie star, obviously. That too. Pokestar Studios exists. I just go act.
Oh yeah.
Takes no experience. Like just walk in and start acting, and become.
And
a
you can
superstar.
surf in the trees over there.
The first movie you make, you gross like 30 billion Poké Dollars, something stupid like that, which your player never sees any of it. But I'd probably do that. That'd be fun. But yeah, I'd probably live in the Boston.
I'll watch your movie, bro.
Thanks, man.
I'll pay you and not the ushers.
I'm gonna need it.
Right. I think those are all great answers. Guanaco, would you like to talk about where you would go in Unova?
Where I would go in Unova, I don't really know Unova like that. I only played the games sparingly because it wasn't my favorite gen. Sorry, Josh, but I'd say. I don't know. Probably Castelia City.
Oh,
Castelia again?
Probably.
That's
just
fine.
because you have a lot more to do, and it reminds me of New York a bit.
Yeah. Well, it is based on.
Yeah, I mean that's
it is
fair.
modeled off in New York.
Yeah.
Sure, so.
I have to be honest with you guys. The first thing when you said Unova, the first thing I thought of was the Village Bridge. Where the
I
dude's
thought of
singing.
that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's like easily my favorite part of the game because I like how you can build up the music in that game. You can build up like in Accumula Town, you can have the people playing the piano and the drums. But in that one, you can get the guy beatboxing, you can get the guy singing, you can get it's the first time that they've had words in Pokemon too.
Yeah.
So he's singing about the old man in the sea. Is like it's an old like Japanese like folk song. And I looked it up because I was like, is he saying Pokemon? Is he saying Orewa? And he's talking about like an old man wanting to go back to sea. It's kind of cool. I did a lot of research because I was a kid. I was like, is he saying Pokemon? I thought he was saying Pokemon, But like also the aesthetic of the brick and the wood, it looks really, really cool. I would live on that bridge. Easy retirement home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
I thought that would be a cool little area, and plus it's close to like the center of Unova, so it's not like super far. I don't know. I like that. That was the first thing that popped in my mind, and it's easily one of the best songs in Unova, other than Driftvale City.
Oh yeah.
Unova had some lit music. We can talk about that by itself. I mean, I'm not going to play any here because of copyright, but still.
I think the Pokemon music should be fun.
As long as we're talking over it, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just making a joke, copyright joke. But yeah, I think that's a really, really, really good answer. I think that Unova is a very strong thing. Did you have anything else you guys wanted to add before we move on to mine?
Ooh, Battle Subway too. I lived in Boston for
Oh,
Battle
yeah.
Subway as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that's if Ingo finds his way back. Spoilers.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna live in the time period where he is there. Okay.
I mean, they did him so dirty. He's trapped in the past.
That sucked.
But he doesn't get the god of all Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
He just gets to be tormented and look shabby. He should change his clothes. Come on. Battle Subway is pretty cool though. I thought that was a really cool like feature. I thought that. I mean, nothing beats the Battle Frontier from Emerald. Like, nothing.
Hands down.
That's easily the coolest. That's the coolest post game. Like post game like battle system.
But you can go to Kanto and Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Gold and Silver.
There's nothing in Kanto, and all the Pokemon are not leveled correctly. There's nothing. I love it. But like after playing it like objectively as an adult, I'm like, I don't know, Gold Silver, like it was a little bit barren. But I mean, the Trainer Red fight, that's the whole point. You know, I breezed through that Kanto section.
When you finish Johto, just go play Fire Liquid. It's the same thing,
right?
It's better.
Same
actually.
thing, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even then, Kanto by itself is pretty sparse.
Yeah,
but I mean
that's anyways.
Yeah, I mean, like even in its base game, we can talk about that in our own little video. Though. Hey, follow for more. Anything else before we go to mine?
That was it for me.
Okay. What about you, Guanako? Anything?
Nothing else.
All right. So mine is a little bit of a tie between two. Number one, the one that kind of wins it for me is I would probably say Hoenn. Now, a lot of people hate on Hoenn, but Hoenn is the first game, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald were the first games that I owned myself. So I have a really, really special attachment to the region. I would say the cities that stand out to me the most in Hoenn would probably be either Fortree City, because I've always liked the idea of having a treehouse, but my parents never had like a tree to be able to have a treehouse. I remember when I was a little kid, I was like, hey, can I build a treehouse in that? And Dad was like, that's a sapling, son. I was like, so what? I didn't understand. I thought that the idea of living in the trees was kind of cool. I was super big on like a Tarzan kind of vibe. Like I loved the Tarzan movie. I was super into it growing up, so I thought that like living in the trees was kind of neat. Fortree City has a really cool catchy theme too, so, and also that's the area where you get the invisible Kecleons, and Winona's pretty cool, flying type gym leader. I don't know, just kind of neat, you know, all around really neat little area. And then the other place that's kind of tied for me, I would probably say Slateport City, mainly because I love the music, and I was like, if I was in Driftvale City, if I was living in Unova and the music was playing constantly, I'd be fine. If Slateport City had music that was playing, like a hustle bustle market like that, you know, I'd sit there and listen to music forever. You know what I mean? It would never get old. As also just historically for Fusro Dab over here, that's my first ever shiny that I ever got was right outside. Is in that little patch of grass right above Slateport in Emerald. It was a shiny Minun, actually. And I was like, I thought my game was broken because it did the little sparkles and he was oddly colored. I said, I'm going to catch this guy because I don't have him. And I'm really glad I did, because I was like, I don't understand this. It was before I played Pokemon Silver, and then I got the Gyarados. I was like, oh, okay, that's intentional. You know, I didn't know what it was. Internet wasn't really a thing. You know, it was, but it wasn't, you know, like my friends on the playground didn't play Pokemon too much. And if they did, they were kind of idiots about it. You know, they didn't really know what was going on, you know. I mean, what 6-year-old knows Pokemon super well? But I was like, okay, I'll catch this thing. It turns out it's like super valuable, you know, super rare. And I was like, okay, cool. So I mean, I got that before I got the red Gyarados, you know. So that was my first shiny Pokemon. It was also the first one I ever caught too, which is kind of neat. Nice. I remember I named him. I think I named him like Broken or something like that. Like I named him the word Broken. So. I thought that was a cool little memory. It's a memory I associate with the location. So I like, also like a personal story too. You know, do you guys know Insane in the Rain music? He has like saxophone covers of a lot of things, and he's if you have Landon's stream playlist, a lot of his stuff is the saxophone music from that playlist.
Oh, then probably.
He has an arrangement of Slateport City's theme, and he called it, like the track, he called it Fus Force, like, you know, from the Grinch, because it sounds like they're saying Fus Force, you know. You know. And I found that like upbeat kind of sound shortly after I found that like it was around Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire coming out. I believe I was a senior in high school. I had gotten Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and then I was a senior in high school or something like that. So it was around that time, because I remember I got Omega Ruby and then I was going college searching. And around that time, after I found he had released Back to Your Little Roots, which is like this little album that is really, really good. You should listen to it. Everyone who's listening should like bookmark that. And I was listening through it, and obviously the Slateport City one was my favorite, but I was like, I connected with it a little bit too, because Slateport City was one of my favorites, but also one of my classmates had gotten in an accident around the week that I discovered it. And she what happened was, without getting a little too graphic, she was a athlete, so she did morning jogs, and an elderly person hit her on the side of the road. So she was in like the ICU for a long time, and then she passed. So it was like a really weird time, because, you know, when you're like younger, you know, you're like about to be an adult, you know, so you kind of have a concept with like losing someone, but you don't have a concept of losing somebody that's like a kid, you know what I mean? Like this is me. This could have been me, you know what I mean? Like it was a weird time, because like I'm like 17 at the time, almost 18, and coming up with the concept of like mortality in a different sense, because I had lost some family members, but I hadn't lost like a friend, you know what I mean? So like the mortality of it, I was like, okay, so this is existential for me. So I like, what do? I dive into music, you know? And then I became obsessed with his track, the Fus Force track, because it's very upbeat, it's very lively, and it like, I don't know, helped me process some stuff in like in a healthy way, if that makes sense.
That's good.
It's a weird time, and I didn't mean to get too deep, especially for the listeners who are a little younger out there. Good. But, you know, like I was trying not to make it like inappropriately deep, if that makes sense. But just got to make sure that, you know, the kids are okay, you know. But you know, it's interesting that how we deal with grief in different ways. You know, whenever anything happens that, you know, affects us in a negative way, it's interesting to see how we cope with it. And for me, it was to latch on to this song that I would listen to it on repeat, because it was so upbeat and so happy. And I don't know, there's the piano solo in the middle of it when you listen to it is very, very vibrant. And I was like, okay, so this is how I should be feeling right now. You know what I mean? So I don't know, a little too deep, but at the same time, hey, what better way to get to know your content creators than for them to share personal experiences, right?
True.
So I mean, that's why I feel like, so it's not just me wanting to go to this location because it's a pretty beach. It's because the music is incredible. I connect with it on an emotional level. And the arrangement that I listen to of that music helped me process a difficult concept, you know, when I was a little bit younger, getting into the early adult years. You know, because I feel like those kind of experiences like make you expand a little bit. And it's not just Pokemon, you know, like there's memories and like things that you associate with it. And there are, you know, connections to be made between it. I like these memories, like for example, my grandmother giving me my first copy of Ruby, you know, that's special, you know what I mean? So you make these connections and you hold on to them forever, and that's why I still think this game that's designed for kids is fun, you know? I don't lose interest in it even this many years later, because I can get a deeper connection to it than it just being like another, you know, Fortnite. You know, it's not Fortnite.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? I feel like I got a little deep on there, and I didn't mean to get that deep, but like I feel like it's a good connection to make, because it's an important experience, if that makes sense. A long-winded spiel aside, that's my answer, is that the Hoenn region, Fort Tree City takes the cake for me, because I've always wanted a treehouse, but I never got one, so I'm mentally scarred. And then just because of like sentimentality, I would say Slateport City, and mainly if the music was playing, then definitely that, you know, because it's just such good music.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just like going on, you know, I don't know, you know, have you ever seen The Flash, the CW Flash?
Yeah.
Remember the episode Duet where Music Meister traps Supergirl and the Flash in a musical? I'm
gonna be honest, I stopped watching after the second season.
Okay, yeah, so you don't know. Well, anyway, the character Music Meister puts the Flash and Supergirl in their own minds, and they're in like a West Side Story musical.
Actually, I did see that one.
Yeah, and like, but the funny thing is that Kara and Barry are like aware that it's a musical, so like they know that everyone's singing. They're like, what is going on, you know? But the characters are like, what do you mean, what's going on, you know? It's just, you know how like music happens in movies, like characters are just singing and they don't realize that they're singing and performing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But there's Kara and Barry are like, oh my gosh, yay, you know, clapping along and stuff like that. They're like, what are you doing? I don't know, it's kind of like that, you know, like in a musical the characters aren't like aware, breaking the fourth wall, aren't aware that they're listening to music or doing music. So I mean, like in the Pokemon world, if we were living there, would we hear the music?
Yeah, sure.
So sorry, long-winded spiel. That's my answer.
It's all good.
That's the whole purpose of the podcast, right? You know, to talk.
Yeah. So I guess should we throw it back to Gigi for the other side of the question?
Oh well, y'all both should answer real quick. Y'all both should answer. Where would you stay in Hoenn?
Oh yeah. I'd probably stay in Mauville. I like Mauville. It's a nice like shopping center, and then like the apartments are up top. I'd probably do Mauville. I feel like I can have everything
you're
I
Oris.
need like just there. Yeah, that one.
You're doing Oris Mauville.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 times better.
But it had a casino in the old one.
That's dangerous.
Okay, what about you, Konako?
I got two places actually.
Okay, go for it.
Sutopolis, because when I was younger, I remember, you know, I'm weird. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird as heck, but I don't care. When I was younger, I used to like play. I would play the Pokemon. I would do the story, but this would be like after the story was completed and all that. In my head, I would be like, okay, I made up these characters in my mind, and I would make up my own story, right? And when I was younger, I would say, okay, Sutopolis is this base. It's a little military base. Entrance is underwater. Nobody can get it. I don't know. I had fun making up my own little stories with.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that did that. Okay. I did that too.
Okay, great.
Mine was Evergrande City though. Mine was like Evergrande City because no one has waterfall except for me.
And then the other one is Sky Pillar.
Ooh, yes.
Sky Pillar.
Yes.
I don't know. I just felt the theme. I just felt Rayquaza's theme, the Sky Pillar theme. I don't know, and it's something that resonates with me to this very day.
Now, are you a Sky Pillar from Emerald or are you a Sky Pillar from Oris?
Both.
Yeah,
both.
They're both pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie, but I love that original puzzle.
I will always find myself going bike to Emerald.
Yeah.
Fun fact: did you know there's one tile in there in the Emerald one where you can fall down and land on top of a rock? Yeah. I learned that when I was a kid. I was like, oh my god, this is a glitch. No, it's just bad programming. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and then can we talk for a second about, did you guys spend hours trying to find Mirage Island?
I never found it.
I never tried.
I never did either. I would load up my game every day to talk to the old man. Mirage Island hasn't appeared. Mirage Island hasn't appeared. Doesn't look like it's there today. I'm like, dang it. I was hoping, I can see Mirage Island. I was hoping I would see it one day. You know, that's one thing I still haven't done.
And funny enough, the only time I ever caught Deoxys was in Oras.
Oh, dude, the Delta episode's so good.
Oh yeah,
that was.
Yeah.
So I will argue up and down that is Oris is the best remakes. Period. Plain and simple.
That's a conversation for a different.
Exactly. That is a conversation for a different time. I think those are great answers. I just realized that I didn't say what my other region would be. I said that Hoenn was my primary thing, but if I had to choose a separate one, I would probably choose specifically not Galar, like the region itself. I would go to the Isle of Armor because I think that's a really cool area. Urshifu is kind of dope, and I really like that area. I don't like the Galar region very much. That's also an episode for later. But I do like the Isle of Armor's aesthetic. So that was my other thing. I didn't say that earlier, but I just don't want people to be like, oh, Fus never answered his other thing. You know what I mean? So let's swing it back around full 360 or 180, I should say. You know, and full circle, or half circle, I should say. Back to Guanaco. Where would you not want to go? Just
Kanto.
Whoa!
I have to.
All the Gen 1ers.
Unsubscribe
from Guanaco Gaming. He doesn't like Kanto.
Listen, I don't care. Listen, a lot of people say that I'm a Gen 1er, and especially people in the EBL say, oh, I'm a Gen 1er. Why are you choosing all these Kanto starters? One, they're good competitively, but that's a whole different topic. I don't like Kanto because it is so gosh darn boring. You guys touched base on it before. I mean,
there ain't nothing there.
There really isn't. I mean, it was a great starter. You know, red, blue, yellow, even right, and fire, red, leaf, green. It was great. They were great games. You know, for it starting, it's just everything got better as time went on. My favorite gen is Gen 2. I love the Johto region simply because of nostalgic reasons, and Lugia is my favorite Pokemon. But
also,
I
like
Kanto.
Johto had some like killer music.
Yeah.
The National Park theme is the best thing to come out of Johto.
Oh,
I'll say that.
Well,
every
I like Goldenrod City, dude. Goldenrod City.
Goldenrod City
is
is
my
memorable.
favorite.
Goldenrod City is memorable.
National Park is a really good one though. That's a good answer.
You know what else is memorable for me for Gen 2 is when you're on your way to Olivine City, you go to that little farm or the little house where the sick milk tank is. And then you have the theme for I believe it's either Olivine or Cianwood City that you have playing, but it's slow mo. And then when you click on the little milk tank and it does that little sad moo. I don't know, for some reason that specifically it stays stuck in my head. And I'm not talking about the Heart Gold Soul Silver one. I'm talking about the old school. Crystal, because Crystal was my favorite. Was my first Pokemon game ever. That is what I'm talking about.
I gotcha. So absolutely no Kanto.
No. No.
But the Sevi Islands, Guanaco, they're so good.
Sevi Islands are pretty cool.
I'm saying all the hate we're gonna get because you said Kanto.
That's
it's
sorry.
okay. It's okay.
You can all direct them to me. Well, you can all direct them to my channel for the hate. Subscribe while you're at it.
Subscribe while you're at it. Guanaco loves the haters. Guanaco loves the haters. Confirmed. Okay, Hermit. What about you? Absolutely no. You would not live there or visit there.
Would never ever go.
Ever. Like this is like nope, never.
Johto, just to spite Gigi. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Okay, I was gonna say if he says something else other than what I'm thinking he's gonna say, because I've heard him say it. I was gonna be like,
we're not talking about the game. We're talking about the region. All right, this is different. Games region.
That's another topic for another day.
This is Hoenn because they can't swim. There's a lot of water. It's scary.
Can you really not swim?
No, I can't swim.
We're gonna have to teach.
So
him.
I'm gonna go ahead and be a comment troll, Hermit. Pokemon will do the swimming for you because they know how to surf.
But if I fall off, I'm dead.
I have a question for you, actually, Josh. Hermit, excuse me.
But this.
So I know that there are some people who don't like. I wouldn't, and maybe don't like is not the case for you, but there are some people who don't prefer Hoenn because they feel it has too much water. Are you that person?
Oh no, I don't care. That complaint always bothered me because it's like that stuff doesn't even matter until like the end of the game. So
I've always enjoyed the water parts.
But also, I enjoyed that portion.
Great. The diving music is actually surprisingly really good. I don't know if you guys have heard it.
Pacific Town is like the coolest thing, and it's the one city you can like not visit and never get it's like that Annabelle town in Kalos. You don't have to visit it. Or is it Unova? Is that Unova? Is it Kalos or Unova?
Which town in Hoenn? I'm sorry.
It's the one where you have to take the train to get to it.
Oh, bro, you don't need.
No, you know what I'm talking about. Like you have to take the train to it.
Isn't that Kalos?
Is that Unova? Is it Kalos or Unova?
I think they both might have it sound like
that's how you know nobody cares about those places because like Pacific, so many people are like, oh, what's that? You know, you never been to it.
I forget that.
Right?
I mean, you kind of have to go there if you're hunting the Reggies, you know.
Okay, so going back to what I was saying there too. Also, I completely forgot about it. We were talking about it like a little bit ago, but when I was saying I would live in Slateport City, that's number 2. Battle Frontier, number 1, 100%. The music, oh my god. Okay, so sorry. Go ahead. Going back to not living. Sorry, I'm all over the place today.
Fun fact: I also played with the Battle Frontier too.
Ooh, the Battle Frontier is pretty dope. The Battle Frontier is pretty dope. I forgot about it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's such a good place. But yeah, so no, for real, is that your answer though? You can't no swimming.
That was kind of a joking answer, but Sinnoh, because Team Galactic kind of just does what they want to do. Like they have buildings in towns and like they have headquarters
the
here.
Mafia.
They literally like exploded a lake and like kind of got away with it. Like I mean, the only reason, at least in Platinum, the only reason Cyrus didn't succeed is because of Giratina. Not even the people in Sinnoh. That'd be a pretty scary region to live in if the evil team is just everywhere. Like that's scary.
You know what though? That's like Gotham City. That's my kind of town, you know? I mean, the Mafia owns like the controlling interest of a major city. Veilstone City, Team Galactic's building is the largest besides the department store. It's awesome. I'm like the Mafia. Even. Oh, I think it might be. The underground is definitely bigger. But like the Mafia controls the controlling interest of a major city, and then it has a outpost in another city, and then it like seeks to defile ancient ruins that the ancient people used to worship the creator there and argue about whether or not it was time and space. You know, like you're like Sinnoh's hardcore. Yeah. Sinnoh is hardcore. Like people sleep on Sinnoh, but I mean you're not wrong, man. That's like episode of Miami Vice. Yeah,
that's probably my number 1 because that's a little scary. My number 2 would honestly be Alola, like because of the Ether Foundation. They're over there experimenting and stuff. Like that's kind of scary
and
too.
Like, freezing Pikachu and Slowpoke.
Yeah, and they're like
aliens.
They're like their own entity.
True. And they have actual aliens.
Yeah, they're just so weird. Like, there's just too much bad stuff going on there, and like they're like their own entity in the middle of the ocean, like their own island. Like that's a little so purely because of like the evil teams and the presence that they have. Like those 2 regions are a little I don't know.
I would probably say for my answer for not visiting, if we're speaking about like not wanting to visit places because of that, Kalos, like. An ultimate weapon that literally killed an army of Pokemon, and their graves are just chilling and a route. Their graves are like their fossilized graves are like chilling there, and not to mention a literal city has an ultimate weapon that can end all life on Earth, and a Pokemon that can suck the soul out of people, or a Pokemon that can give the soul back. I ain't messing with Kalos, y'all. Yeah. Also, bad games, but that's another topic for another day.
I mean, I've been to the City of the Dead in New Orleans, so I mean that kind of stuff doesn't bother me when it comes to Kalos,
but they don't have a giant super weapon laser underneath their city.
That is true.
Unless they do. Do they have that in New Orleans? Somebody answer in the comments.
I'm more afraid of Galactic or even the Ether Foundation than than Team Flare.
Oh, I'm not afraid of Team Flare. I'm just afraid of like if somebody's had too much moo milk, you know what I'm talking about? Too much moo milk, they go and find this thing and blow up half the region. You know, I'm like some dude drunk on moo milk going over there. Just zaps presses the wrong button and yeets the region across the cosmos, or accidentally awakens a Pokemon that literally devours life.
Hey, that could be the new legendary for Gen 9.
Yeah,
you never know.
Or they can bring us Pokemon Z like they promised. They did nothing with Zygarde. That's a topic for another day.
You know what scenario is actually pretty scary in Hoenn is if Magma or Aqua. Like,
oh my god, yeah. We didn't even talk about that. Yeah, good god.
Super rain or the heat that literally dries up the water. Like, oh.
No, so think about it. So they literally awaken the gods of land and sea to make them fight, and then a sky dragon has to basically slap them across the face saying no, and then the world is like, but until then is plunged into eternal rain and sunshine, battling for supremacy. That is terrifying stuff.
For the record,
you know
I was on
like
Team
existential.
Same.
What?
I was on Team Aqua side. I love the water.
Magma's cooler, man. Groudon's way cooler than Kyogre.
Okay.
Groudon is sick. Precipice Blades.
If I remember correctly, Groudon didn't last too long season 2.
Oh, okay. You leave Amaterasu alone. We didn't get a battle in season 2, Guanaco. So that's rich.
Hey, I mean, I'm open for one if you really want.
Okay, my talk is weak. But I will say though, you know, Groudon was like super appealing for like, you know, 5-year-old, 6-year-old me looking at the box art. You know, I was like, this is cool. I was also that kid who was like, I got Ruby Red version. You know?
It's weird. The thing that attracted me to Sapphire was I thought Kyogre could fly. I thought his fins were wings. I thought the fins were wings, and I'm like, I like it. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. And I'm like, okay, you know what?
I think if Kyogre wanted to, he could fly.
Well, the anime does show him flying sometimes, I guess.
That's true. Hey, you know what? I remember. Do you remember, real quick before we sign off? Do you remember the Emerald like special pack that came with the like the Game Boy Advance SP like holder?
No.
That was what I got when I got Emerald. I was so happy to get that, and I wore it around my belt loop, and I took my Game Boy with me everywhere. It was awesome.
Nice. Bet you were the cool kid in school too.
No, I really wasn't. But jokes on them, they don't do Pokemon on YouTubes.
True.
Oh my goodness. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen, before we start wrapping it up?
Evil teams be scary, yo.
Right? Can we add that? Do we have evil teams on here? I don't think we do. Let's add that for a future concept.
But I don't know if we,
yeah, we need to add that on there, or just talking about evil teams in general, because that's a whole nother podcast. We've been talking about. We made that joke several times, but honestly, there's so much to talk about when it comes to Pokemon. So that's a great segue. Guys, thank you so much for listening and or watching. If you have been doing it, appreciate everyone's support as always. Please make sure, if you haven't already done so, smack that subscribe button and follow all the socials that are linked in the description as well, including my beautiful compatriot, Mr. Lonely Hermit, aka Josh, aka the man who has Landorus that I hate. Be sure to go and check him out. And then, of course, our lovely guest today, Mr. Guanaco Gaming, who is, of course, smiling into the camera at this very moment if you're watching the video. And he is an amazing person, probably one of the kindest people you'll ever meet. His amazing tagline, just kind of like we have, stay excellent to each other. He has is it be phenomenal? Is that what it is?
Be phenomenal.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. I mean, like, you know, you have to have positivity in the world. This man literally breathes positivity. Is awesome. Couldn't recommend watching his content more. Please go and check him out, especially if you like Pokemon. If you like seeing him absolutely make people cry with Pokemon because of his competitive skills, or if you like him walking his friend through Breath of the Wild, because he knows literally almost everything about Breath of the Wild there is to know. And hopefully maybe one day he'll take his other friend Fus Force's advice and start speedrunning, because it'd be really fun to watch him like complete the game super fast and make all these pro speedrunners cry.
I don't know about that.
I think you could do it. But yeah, go check him out and be sure to, just show the support where you have it. If there is something that we talked about today that sparked and piqued your interest, be sure to talk about it with us. You can always leave a comment. You can message us over Discord and things like that. You can check out our, like for me, I have Twitter. I believe you both have Twitter, right?
Yes.
Yep. That'll all be in the description, obviously. So spark some discussion up. If you like what you hear, be sure to share it with a friend as well. Sunyshore Station's where it's at. Go ahead and share it as much as you can, because we're gonna have some fun with this. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this. As you can tell, we have a lot of really cool things planned. Metronome interviews are really, really cool. I think it's great. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
You guys are all awesome. Both of you guys are awesome. Everybody listen to this or watching, you all are awesome. And I hope you're having a great day.
Oh, you're so sweet. What about you, Goin? You got any kind words of wisdom?
Same. Like
same.
Like Hermit, you guys are all amazing.
Same.
Yes.
He and I quote. Ready? Quote. Same. End quote.
But no, guys, if you haven't already, of course, don't forget to show some love to Fus Force and Lonely Hermit. Both of them are amazing creators as well. You guys already should know that. If you guys are new to the podcast, of course, make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff. But thank you so much for having me on the show. I much appreciate it. And it was fun.
All right, guys. I think that's about it from us. Be sure to have an amazing rest of your day. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been Sunyshore Station.